All right, it is our first Wednesday of the month, so you know what that means. We have our special guest here today to award our Teacher of the Month. And so we're going to get started with that without further ado.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I feel like I have to introduce myself. I'm head of teacher appreciation for student council, and I'm also vice president. So last month's teacher of the month was Ms. Parton, and this month, I don't see him in here, but it is Coach Brooks.
So you're saying you must be President of the Week?
The second best teacher of the month is.
All right, we'll make sure. Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much for recognizing Coach. That's fantastic. Sparse in here today. It says sparse in here today when I look around. All right. Are we ready? First, you want to come on up? Ms. Hanson? We're so fortunate to work in a school district. That's right, you can applaud. We're so fortunate to work in a school district that is supported by an education foundation that shares the vision of innovation that our district does. And I don't know that there's a campus in CCISD that has benefited from it more than Clear Falls High School. And so if money is involved, we want to be a part of it. And I've asked, actually Ms. Burris asked Ms. Hanson to come today to remind everybody of the special grants that the Education Foundation has. And I believe there's some new information to be shared as well. And so we're going to let her take up a little bit of our time, and then she wants to see applications from you guys very soon. So I'm going to turn it over to Casey Hanson. She is the Executive Director of the Clear Creek Education Foundation. Thank you for being here, Casey.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm the Director of the Education Foundation, and my sole job is to raise money for you as teachers. I am not an educator. I do not pretend to be an educator, but I will raise money for you all day long and truly believe in what you do. Me as the Executive Director, and then I have 27 wonderful board members who are just our community members, business owners that are dedicated to education. And we realize that tax dollars are not enough and that you're out a lot of money out of your own pocket, and so we're here to help you. And that's the one thing that I want to make sure that you're aware of. So I'm sure you're all familiar with our Teacher Innovative Grants, and I'm going to get into those details in just a minute because there's some very exciting news. But before I start, I just want to say, on behalf of the Education Foundation, thank you for your support of Education Foundation. Whether you give through payroll deduction to the foundation, whether you dined out to donate on September 21st, whether you make contributions to go to our awesome A&M basket that's going to be at the silent auction in our gala this Saturday, every dollar that you contribute to the Education Foundation, I'm here to tell you, comes directly back into CCISD. And between myself and my board, we multiply that and expand it as much as we can. We are actually infusing $350,000 into CCISD this school year. Hope to do probably over, I'm doing my budget right now, hoping to do over $400,000 this next school year. That's more than triple what we did 3 years ago. So we really are moving places, and I'm here to tell you the main reason how we give it away is through our teacher grant program. And so we can't give it to you unless you ask for it. So I am so excited for the Education Foundation has actually been around for about 23 years and have been doing teacher grants for a number of those. I don't know exactly how long. But as I said, we have increased our giving. But as I've been through my third process, and as I was going through this past year, I said, are we truly doing what we say we're doing with our community dollars? Are we truly taking education to the next level? And I truly believe that we are, but just like anything, I felt like we could do a little bit better, and my board agreed. So we have completely revamped our Teacher Innovative Grants, and I'm so excited to share that with you. We actually have 4 new opportunities of funding. 3 of these directly impact you, and so I'm excited to get your feedback and share those with you. And so what you have here is, and I'll send it electronically as well, you have a a big sheet that basically has I do encourage you to read through this. This has a lot of details. We had teacher focus groups who put a lot of time into this to say, hey, we will fund this, we won't fund this. So please read through all 4 of the pillars. If you take anything away from what I'm saying today, please take away this little sheet of paper. It just has all the little important information, and I'm going to briefly go through everything very quickly. I know here at Falls, y'all do a great job at writing grants, and I hope that y'all will continue to do so. But for our Teacher Innovative Grants, really nothing has really changed except for 2 main things. One is we've always said that it needed to be new in the district. We realize this is a big district, and there's some great things going on, and all the campuses are very different. And so we have changed it to where it just needs to be new at your campus. Because y'all, I'll be honest, there's some great things that Falls that y'all are doing that other campuses may want to do, and vice versa. And so it just has to be new at your campus. We do want it to be innovative. As I mentioned a minute ago, we aren't using $350,000, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But if you think about how big CCISD is, that's not near enough. So we want to stretch that dollar as much as possible. So we want it to be sustainable. We want it to be able to continue for years on out. And we also love to see collaboration. And y'all are a collaboration station here, I have to say. A lot of y'all's grants pull in Mossman and Bayside. But the more, if you can impact your class, great. If you can impact the entire grade level, even better. And that's what we really want to see through our teacher grants. You can apply for up to $5,000. You can apply for multiple grants. We had a teacher last year that applied for 5 grants. Her principal, 4 grants, and she got them all. Her principal signed off, said that she could do them, and if they're great grants, we're not going to say, no, you can't do all that great stuff. And so, so you can apply for as many as you like. And one thing that is new this year, and again, we're trying to stretch that dollar. So if you have a grant that you can get a team of teachers to come together to do and impact your entire campus, or maybe even a sister school right here with Mossman or Bayside, you can apply for a grant to up to $10,000. So that is new this year. We're very excited about that. We realized that a lot of you may not know what other campuses are doing, and so please look in the next couple weeks. We'll be sending out some materials that, besides the grants that are listed on our website, we'll also be sending some materials of some great ideas that are going around the campus, different campuses if you'd like to take them and make them your own. The application opens November 16th, which is just right around the corner, through January 18th. And they won't be awarded until May. So I remind you, you're actually writing for the next school year. I know it's brutal, but at the same time, I promise there's a method to the madness and why we do that. And so, yes, they're awarded in May. So if for some reason you're not at Clear Falls next year, just keep in mind that your grant, because of your writing it and your intent is for it to be here at Clear Falls, it would stay here at Clear Falls. So keep that in mind. The next one I'm very excited about, and I hope y'all are too, and I'm hoping to get some good feedback. But we have realized there are some amazing, amazing students in this district. And so we wanted an opportunity, and we have a new Student Teacher Innovative Grant. And so this is where it's student-powered but teacher-guided. And so this is where you, as a high school teacher, we're just piloted in high school. I hope your little wheels are turning, I'm making some amazing students. But it's basically the same thing as a Teacher Innovative Grant, but it would be student-powered but teacher-sponsored. We will fund clubs with this, but we don't want to fund the club itself. We want to fund the project and what they're actually doing. We see humanitarian projects, maybe code-a-thon type things. I think the possibilities are definitely endless. You can apply for up to $5,000. It's going to be the same time frame. I'm not exactly sure where the application is going to be located, how we're going to get it to. I'm assuming it's going to be in It's Learning. Is it It's Learning that students have access to? I'm pretty sure it's going to probably be in It's Learning, but we haven't got the final say from IT yet. But it'll be the same timeline. So it opens November 16th through January 18th. They'll be awarded in May. So with that means that seniors wouldn't be able to apply. So they would actually be applying to do this project for next year. Again, and I think we're going to learn a lot from this, we would love to see it sustainable. So as much as we want to fund, one student, we'd love to have a group of students of different ages to be able to carry a certain project on. So kind of the same as teacher grants. So I just have to say, is there any excitement? Do y'all have any ideas of the student? Okay, good. We're very excited about that one. And the next one is actually a mini grant opportunity. And this one doesn't apply until this next fall, but I want you to mark your calendar because it'll get here before you know it, and it'll fly by and it'll be gone. I ran 219 grants this year, and as much as I wanted to fund all of them, we absolutely couldn't. But a lot of them, I'll be honest, did not fit into our Teacher Innovative Grant category. It would truly be new and innovative and really taking education to the next level. So I ask you, when you're looking at these different pillars and you've got a great idea, please try to figure out which one that it applies for. But if it's truly not innovative, but it's a need in your classroom, just a needed resource to help you take education to the next level, but it's not innovative, that's what we want you to apply for in a mini grant. So you can have one applicant, one application. It's September 15th through October 15th, right at the start of the school year. It'll be awarded that November. And so you don't have to wait, a long time or whatever. But it would be up to $500 for just a needed resource in your classroom. I think that's one thing to keep in mind too when y'all have new teachers and everything that come here as well. The one thing, as I said when we first came, the Education Foundation is a community that is really trying to help you take education to the next level. So the caveat for everything that you apply, the student grant, the mini grant, the teacher grant, this is you, and then Mr. House is going to sign off on all of these as well, but this is you saying that these funds, which you're asking for, is not available through CCISD resources, and which includes your local PTA as well. So make sure that everything that you ask for, we want to be a good steward of the donor dollar and truly take education to the next level. So if it can be covered in the CCISD budget, the Education Foundation will not fund it. So please keep that in mind. And the next one I'm going to tell you about, kind of more, it'll definitely impact on it. It has, but now it just has a special name, but it's a Special Innovative Grant. And what we realized is whether the Education Foundation is funded or not, there's just some great projects in the district, but there's really lack of funding to spread them across the district. So we're going to have a pot of money of $50,000 where we look for coordinators, campuses to collaborate with each other to apply to spread some great projects. Some examples of this is we're actually putting maker spaces in all the high school libraries, so I'm sure you're already doing makerspace and have heard of that. Last year we funded the technology integration matrix videos as well that you applied for with technology. That's kind of the same thing basically. So this, again, is just to spread things across the district, and we're very excited. So I definitely think there'll be some more things that'll be coming to Falls because of those funds. Again, just make sure everything that you apply for is not covered through your CCISD and PTA resources. The application for the teacher grant will be opening soon on the employee portal with the guidelines, and again, we'll get you those materials and everything as well. So please know that I'm a phone call and email away if you ever have any questions. Ms. Burris is your campus champion, which basically means she's my liaison to help me spread information. So if you ever have any questions, let her know. We're actually having a grant writing workshop at the ESC. The CCISD Grants Department is putting it on. It's next Wednesday, the 11th at 4:45. And if you attend and everything, you get 2 points on your application. So we encourage you to do that as well as a little incentive. Please know the Education Foundation is here to support you in everything that you do, and y'all truly are the miracle workers, and we just want to help you take education to the next level. So, like I said at the beginning, we can't give you money unless you ask for it, so we'll get a lot of applications from you, and thank you so much for your time. Are there any questions before I run off? Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
We appreciate Casey raising all that money, and we love to spend it. So let's make sure that we get those grant applications in, and work with your buddies and even now people at other schools to come up with some innovative ideas. All right, just wanted to point out, I know that we were promised a trophy or an award for our blood donation. And this is what we got. It's really nice. It's heavy. It says Clear Falls High School, blood donor life-saving totals, 2,442 units donated, 7,326 patients have been given hope in the fight against cancer. And it has our past totals on here as well. So we'll raise both our ladies who are involved in this, Ms. Mueller and Dr. Mueller, and Ms. Burris. Ms. Burris, you're involved in everything all of a sudden. Campus champion. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. So next you're going to be wearing a cape. Okay. Moving along. We like to get out early, right? Yeah. So December, what is it, 17th, 18th? 18th is the last day before our winter break. And students leave at 11, I believe. And boy, would it be nice to have teachers out here like at 11:15. But because we are funded by tax dollars, we have to be able to justify the fact that you're leaving. And as we have done in the past, we're going to provide that opportunity, and that's what Ms. Scott is here to talk about. So I think you're going to be pleased with the opportunities, especially many of you, because many of you will have already fulfilled the requirements for it. So we'll let her talk about that, and then we will move forward.
Okay, I emailed this to all of you prior to the faculty meeting, so you would have it. And if you squint, you might be able to read that. But basically, Mr. House and I have discussed ways to, things that we're already doing. And so we weren't trying to recreate anything. We want it to be purposeful and relevant to you. So basically, if you have been part of a fourth Wednesday after-school professional learning, the dates are there. If your participant is an hour, when you present, you get 3 times that amount, so therefore it's 3 hours. And remember, you only need 3 hours to get to leave at the 11:30 time after the students. So some of the other options are the brown bag lunch that Mrs. Herman is doing, the technology training outside of the school day that Mrs. Herman is conducting. If you choose to do a learning walk during your conference period with an instructional coach, department leader, an administrator, myself, you can earn an hour per learning walk for that. You video yourself or your class, and then you watch it and reflect with an instructional coach or an administrator, myself. You get 2 hours, basically, because you're videoing, then you're watching it, and then you're discussing it. And then if you present to another campus, it's 3 hours for every hour of presentation. If you present on a Wednesday late arrival day, which we have one coming up on November 18th, you can earn 3 hours for that. In addition, if you are not wanting to present to your peers, there are some e-courses in Eduphoria that you can watch, go through, and you'll get the credit for that. And that too will earn you the 3 hours necessary. If you've attended or presented academic professional learning outside of the workday from August 24th, which was the first day of school, until December 18th, and you believe it fits in the criteria, just shoot me an email or come talk with me, and I'll look into it, and if it fits, I want to award you that credit. The intent is not to have to create something just to make you do. Okay? It's so that we learn something. Do you have any questions about that? Is that good that it's not just one more thing? Yes. So it's kind of already things that we're doing? I just want to point out that with all the technology of today's world, you and I both have sticky notes. So today we did learning walks, and the people that I did the learning walks with, after one of the classes, they were like, would you please have this person highlight what her students are doing in class? So I wanted to share a good thing that's occurring. And Ms. Baldoff, would you come down? So quickly after the learning walk, I just shot her an email and said, would you please share what your students are doing in class? Tell a little bit about your student, the students, I believe it was an inclusion class. Okay.
Okay, so they came into my English 3 inclusion class, and we just finished reading the Declaration of Independence. So I believe all or a lot of English students doing this project, where we had them write their own declarations of independence from something, a subject, an idea that they thought was oppressive in nature. So shout out to Ms. Forrest for actually getting that out to the English 3 everybody there. And shout out to cross-discipline learning, because I feel like it's a little bit of history. So, yeah, Ms. Scott asked me to share one of my students' declarations of independence, and this did come from an inclusion class, so I just thought it was really cool. It's kind of depressing, but just get over that. We can do like a good thing. We'll need something. So it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are entitled to a proper education, one rich in individuality, leadership development, and career-oriented opportunity. When a system is necessary for a period of time, it is strong. However, as years pass, technology and innovation progress, as must the system. If not, it becomes relic, unable to advance students, and has little regard to those unable to progress beyond the system's teachings. We declare independence from an oppressive school system. To prove this, let facts be submitted to the candid world. This school system would rather give tests. I don't think it was particularly talking about balls, for the record. I think it was just exactly. In general. This school system would rather give tests than prepare students for their actual occupational choices. Instead of taking classes that guide us in the direction of our profession, we are more worried about taking irrelevant tests. This school system claims to have us ready for college once we finish our high school. Instead, the system fails to do so and should offer ways to experience college firsthand. This school system creates a stressful environment for both teachers and students. For teachers, they are feeling pressured with new curriculum and feel as if they don't have much freedom in the classroom. This school system takes advantage of our teachers and fails to show the proper respect for the mentors of our future leaders. This school system grinds out students trained in memorization, causing stress in the future for them and those unable to learn through these methods. These circumstances have caused us to feel downtrodden, stressed, anxious, depressed, hopeless, unprepared, and lacking control. We as students feel caged like prisoners to an authoritarian structure, falling in line with complete obedience and submitting to authority. We therefore, the students, solemnly publish and declare our right to a modern system that promotes students' future and well-being without worry over standardized test scores for budget and not preparedness. We mutually pledge to each other our individuality, our development, and our opportunity. What I loved about this, the whole project in general, is that it just really, the kids felt empowered writing these. It's a nice intro into our persuasive writing unit. So it gave the kids that freedom. They got to choose any topic they wanted, and they loved it. They felt empowered. They felt like they had a voice that maybe sometimes they don't get to express these grievances all the time. So I thought it was cool.
It was very empowering because the students were, they delivered their speech to their classmates, and when we walked out, the people I were with, they were just like, oh my gosh, and did you see this, and did you hear when he said this, and the whole caged animal? So it was very, very cool to watch the students feel that empowered about their own learning and that they had voice and choice. So I thank you for that. That was one of our Learning Walk highlights if you're interested. I do. Oh, somebody asked, another highlight, somebody asked for more postcards. So we have postcards here if you would like more. We have more readily available, and then there will be more by your mailboxes also. But I wanted to get them to you.
Thank you for what you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Balda, for leading the way and showing that even students who come to us with gaps can learn as well. And you're doing a wonderful job of that, so keep that up. You're an inspiration. Shout out to Kim Parton. She called out the names of every student as they came in and shook their hands and said something to them in a positive way, and it was amazing. And there's an energy in that little area of the hallway that was just fantastic. And I know lots of you do that. That's just the one I saw today. So thank you for doing that, Ms. Parton. Carlos Torres Rivera. Yeah. I went into pre-cal today for a whole period and sat with one of the students, and we worked problems. And I want to thank you for connecting pre-cal and showing me some real-world applications, because I had no idea what pre-cal meant, really, as an English teacher. And so I saw the light bulbs come on in those kids when you were connecting it. Thank you for doing that. Yesterday, guys, was fantastic. I can't tell you how many compliments we've had, just from teachers and administrators about how the collaboration went in the sessions. And, you know, I know some of them probably weren't exactly what you thought they were going to be when you got into them, but some of them were even beyond what you thought they were going to be. And so I hope there was at least one takeaway from yesterday for you. I also want to thank those of you who called home and made connections with parents and utilized that time for the way that Mandy had designed it to be used. I know that sometimes is a little scary at times, and those of you who did it the way that she set it up to be used, I know that you made connections that were positive, and that's important. We've received emails already. Mr. Dixon, wherever you are, right there, he's the winner, because the first email I got was at about 11 a.m. yesterday from a parent, and it was the best thing. And I hope that made you feel good when you got it as well, because you deserve that feeling. Sometimes we get beat down, and I know you've had some rough times lately with some ag barn things, and it's nice to be acknowledged in a good way. So thank you for that, and the rest of you. I hope that you receive some positive feedback from that as well. And then last, we're going to shut down with the video. Right?
Math-related facts. 2 math-related facts. Conversation going on, and so you have a little more wait time, but you'll have heard two amazing things. The first and most amazing thing I heard yourself walking around was Mr. Wiener, share with us what your group talked about.
Between 2001 and 2005, the year enjoyed a negative trend with a negative slope.
So we were wondering what the trend was. Why did we get so behind that year? Miss Maxwell, could you share with us? It probably has something to do with trends in dieting. Ooh. Why would you say that? Doesn't make sense to me. Why would you say that? Because beer makes you fatter than one.
A chair, all right, and I'm going to do slope of the line. So Hobart, can you tell me a chair is like the slope of the line because?
The legs of the chair have to be higher and slower as they connect to the building.
Perfect. So we have to really think about how those things connect.
Please.
Talking about
we'll post that in It's Learning. Also wanted to let you know, if you go to the the grant writing class next Wednesday, that will count towards your December time. So for those of you who are interested in the Education Foundation grants, that's a good way to earn some of that time. All right, you guys have a great afternoon.